Mondays and Thursdays, you should check and see if there's any devices that are end of life or mandatory returns. The way you would do this is you would first open up iConnect on a Wise terminal, and you would type the word war into the URL bar and hit enter. At this point, it's gonna ask you which report you'd like to run. You would scroll down and hit end of life, filter it by your store, and put your store number. In this case, I have no records to return, so that means there's no end of life accessories or phones. Additionally, I can do the exact same thing, but with mandatory returns. So I can go there, filter by store, and enter my store number. I have no records available, so that means I have nothing that is a mandatory return or end of life. Let's just say I did have something that was end of life, though. We can actually go to back office to process that. We can only vendor return something if it's non-sellable. So the first step is we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the equipment status of the device that we're going to be sending back as a mandatory return to non-sellable. So to change the device to non-sellable, we're going to go to equipment status. We're going to change the number, meaning we're going to put the serial number in there. Click away, and you'll see the current status is new. We're going to change that to non-sellable. Then you would leave an adequate comment about why you're doing what you're doing. So you could say mandatory return 5/28/2020. Okay. Now that the device is in non-sellable status, at this point we will process it like a regular vendor return. So we go to the purchasing tab, vendor return explorer, create vendor return. The vendor, you can just go ahead and hit search, and it's always SBS. Return reason in this case is device return. I have never used any of these other return reasons. At this point, you put the SKU in, which I have to type in real quick. You would click on this little drop down. You would select how many you're returning. In this case, I'm returning 1, and I'll put the serial number here. Total serial numbers are scanned. Now I can hit OK, print this order. You're going to need to attach this in the box whenever you send the device back. So let's say we're going to print it out. I'm just going to save it as a PDF for now. Okay. Now we're going to need to copy this vendor return number. Now, just like we would for a regular vendor return, we're going to go back to the buyback portal. You're going to go ahead and log in with that, if you're logins. Now, normally you would click on management and go to non-sellable returns. But in this case, we're going to click on end of life / mandatory returns. It is very important you process these two separately, as these go to different warehouses. You will only do an end of life / mandatory return if it is still in sellable condition, because then the warehouse will send it to somebody who can sell it. At this point, you're just going to enter in the number of mandatory return devices. So in this case, we only have 1. That RMS vendor return number we copied, we will paste here. And then it's very important you put it in one of these boxes that has the battery label indicating that there are batteries in there. Sprint can incur a lot of fines if they're using UPS, FedEx, or USPS to ship devices and not marking them as having batteries in them. You also do not want to put them in the same boxes that you would normally send your buybacks and givebacks in. It has to be in the same type of box that you receive phones in. So in this case, I'll go ahead and pick this one, and we're going to hit create shipping label. So in RMS, we processed it and removed it from our inventory. We changed equipment status, removed it from our inventory, and now we've generated the shipping label. So now we can hit print shipping label, box up the phone, and send it off.